Do you remember the last time you woke up and felt truly strong? Not just awake, not just alive, but steady. As if your legs knew exactly how to hold you. As if your arms still remembered what it meant to lift, carry, and reach with purpose. For many people in their 60s and beyond, that feeling becomes a memory. You eat what you can, you move when you're able. Yet your strength fades quietly, night after night. In Japan, where I've grown old with many dear friends, we've learned to respect the night not just for rest, but for repair. And the secret often lies in dinner. Tonight, I'll share with you 3 simple lean meats we often enjoy in Japan. They're gentle on your digestion, rich in healing proteins, and best of all, they help your body rebuild muscle while you sleep. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from, and what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Why do older adults lose muscle so quickly? When I was younger, I believed that as long as I kept eating and moving, my strength would stay. But after I turned 70, I noticed something strange. Even with the same meals and walks, my body felt weaker. My thighs shrank. My balance faltered, and lifting a teapot became a quiet struggle. This wasn't just in my head. What I was facing had a name: sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass and strength. It happens naturally starting as early as your 50s, but after 60, it can move fast, especially if we're not careful with what we eat. In America, I've noticed that people eat plenty of food, but often it's missing the kind of protein the body truly needs to rebuild muscle, especially after a full day. Steak and burgers are heavy. Beans can be hard to digest, and many older people start eating less simply because their appetite fades. In Japan, we've learned to honor small meals with strong purpose, especially at night. We don't eat for fullness, we eat for healing. And the healing starts with lean proteins that are gentle, digestible, and rich in amino acids. Because while you rest, your body doesn't sleep, it rebuilds. And every bite you take before bedtime can either support that process or slow it down. What makes a Japanese dinner so unique? In Japan, dinner is not about eating more, it's about eating wisely. Unlike in many Western homes where dinner is the largest and heaviest meal of the day, our evening meal is light, intentional, and deeply rooted in the idea of healing. We don't just fill our plates, we build balance. A typical Japanese dinner might look simple: a small bowl of rice, a cup of warm miso soup, lightly cooked seasonal vegetables, and a modest piece of lean protein like fish or chicken. But there's wisdom in this simplicity. We follow a principle called hara hachi bu, which means eat until you are 80% full. This idea comes from Okinawa, where some of the world's longest living people reside. It reminds us that the goal of eating is not to feel stuffed, but to feel supported. When I was a child, I used to sit on the tatami floor beside my grandmother. She would prepare dinner in quiet rhythm, one pot simmering, one bowl steaming. She never said much, but every action felt deliberate. She would gently lay out each dish on a wooden tray: a slice of grilled mackerel, a scoop of rice, some pickled radish and soup with tofu and seaweed. The entire meal could fit in 2 hands, yet it held everything our bodies needed to recover from the day. Over time, I began to understand Japanese dinners aren't small because we eat less. They're small because they're efficient. Each bite carries nutrients the body can absorb easily, especially in the evening hours when digestion slows down. In many places I visited in the West, I've seen dinners full of rich sauces, large cuts of meat and bread or pasta piled high. These meals may satisfy the tongue, but they often leave the body heavy and sluggish, especially for those of us over 60. Here in Japan, dinner is treated almost like medicine. It calms the system, soothes the stomach, and prepares the body for healing overnight. We see food not as reward but as restoration. That's why when choosing protein, we lean toward what's light and purposeful. Fish that's gently grilled, chicken that's poached or simmered with ginger, meat that nourishes, not overwhelms. So when the sun sets and the world quiets, our dinner tables reflect that peace. No rushing, no overloading, just food that understands your age, your needs, and your future. The first lean meat salmon. In Japan, salmon is more than just a fish, it's a quiet healer. For generations, it has appeared on our dinner tables in many forms, grilled with a touch of sea salt, simmered gently with miso, or served as tender flakes over rice. But no matter how it's prepared, salmon holds a respected place in our evening meals, especially for the elderly. Why? Because salmon is what I call a restful strength. It doesn't shock the body or sit heavy in the stomach. It comforts. And as it comforts, it nourishes. One of salmon's greatest gifts lies in its omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation in the joints and help protect the heart. But beyond that, it is rich in high-quality protein and essential amino acids, what our aging muscles crave most, especially at night when the body begins its quiet work of repair. I remember clearly the winter my husband turned 74. He had begun to slow down. His steps grew shorter. He often sat in silence, hands resting on his knees, unsure of where his strength had gone. I started preparing grilled salmon for dinner every evening, lightly salted, gently cooked, served with warm rice and pickled vegetables. At first he said little, but after a week I saw him walking farther. After 2 weeks, he laughed again. He told me he felt like something inside him was coming back to life. We usually prepare salmon using a method called shioyaki, just a simple rub of salt left to rest for a few hours, then grilled until the edges are slightly crisp. No oil, no frying, just fish fire and thyme. The salt helps draw out excess moisture and concentrates the flavor, making the fish feel rich without being heavy. For older adults, this simplicity matters. Digestion slows with age. Heavier proteins like beef can sit in the stomach too long, disturbing sleep and bloating the gut. But salmon passes through gently. It gives more than it takes. Another quiet benefit: vitamin D, which helps with calcium absorption and supports bone health. Two things that become even more important as we grow older. A small piece of salmon in the evening can do more than just build muscle. It can protect your whole frame. In the West, I've seen salmon served with heavy cream sauces or placed on top of pastas, but here we prefer to let it speak for itself. A slice of lemon, maybe a side of grated daikon radish, that's all it needs. So if you've been waking up feeling stiff or watching your muscles fade, consider this gentle shift. Let salmon be your companion at dinner, not every night, but often enough to make a difference. The second lean meat. Chicken is a quiet star in Japanese kitchens, especially when it comes to nourishing the aging body. While many people think of chicken as a simple everyday meat, we treat it with special care here in Japan. We don't fry it. We don't cover it in sauces. Instead, we prepare it in ways that respect its natural tenderness and make it easy for our bodies to absorb its healing gifts. For dinner, especially in older households, chicken is often served in two popular ways: simmered gently with ginger and vegetables, or minced finely and lightly sautéed with a hint of soy sauce. These humble preparations carry the wisdom of generations. The first method is something I learned from my mother. When someone in the family was tired or recovering from illness, she would cook chicken thighs slowly with slices of ginger carrots, daikon radish, and shiitake mushrooms. The broth would become golden and fragrant, and the chicken would fall apart with a spoon. It was food for the body and for the spirit. This way of cooking brings out collagen minerals and proteins that support muscle recovery and joint health, especially when eaten at night. Ginger adds warmth and supports digestion, which becomes more important as we age. The second method, called chicken saburo, was something my grandmother used to make for me when I was too tired to chew. She would mince the chicken, finely cook it slowly with soy sauce and mirin until it became slightly sweet and savory, then serve it over warm rice. It felt like a hug in a bowl, soft, nourishing, and deeply satisfying. Both preparations are gentle on digestion, and both provide a rich source of lean protein that helps maintain muscle mass without overwhelming the stomach. There's also something comforting about chicken. It carries a softness both in flavor and texture that makes it especially suitable for people over 60. It doesn't fight the body, it cooperates. In modern diets, many people turn to processed meats or fried versions of chicken, but these often come with added sodium fats and preservatives that can cause more harm than good, especially when the body is trying to rest and repair overnight. Japanese dinners, especially those meant for recovery, avoid complexity. Chicken is rarely paired with bread or creamy sauces. Instead, it's balanced with steamed vegetables, a bowl of rice, and maybe a small serving of miso soup. I often say that eating chicken at night is like giving your muscles a warm bath. They relax, repair, and prepare to support you the next day. So if you're feeling a bit weaker lately, if getting up from the sofa takes more effort than before, or if your arms no longer feel steady, try this small change. Let chicken be your evening nourishment, not fried, not fancy. Just slow, simple, and healing. Sometimes the best medicine isn't found in a pill, but in a quiet bowl of food made with care. The third lean meat, mackerel. Among all the fish we enjoy in Japan, mackerel, saba as we call it, is one of the most underrated treasures. Humble, affordable, and often overlooked. Yet it holds within it the power to strengthen an aging body from the inside out. I once had a neighbor, Mrs. Fujimoto, who lived to be 92. Every morning, I would see her sweeping the stone path outside her house, back straight movements, calm and steady. One day, I asked her what she ate to stay so strong. She smiled and said saba 3 times a week. Nothing more, nothing less. Mackerel is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, just like salmon, but also contains a higher concentration of coenzyme Q10, a natural compound that helps produce energy in our cells. As we age, our levels of coenzyme Q10 drop, and this may contribute to fatigue and muscle decline. Eating mackerel can help refill that well. Beyond that, mackerel offers an excellent source of high-quality protein, vitamin D, and selenium, all of which are vital for maintaining muscle mass, improving bone strength, and reducing inflammation in joints. For older adults, this combination is like nature's prescription. But what makes mackerel even more special is how we prepare it. One of the most beloved ways is miso nai, simmered gently in a sauce made of miso paste, ginger, and a touch of sake. The result is soft, flavorful fish with a slightly sweet, deeply savory taste. It warms the belly, calms the nerves, and delivers strength without effort. There's also shioyaki-style mackerel, where the fish is simply salted and grilled. The skin turns crisp, the inside stays moist, and the natural oils bring a deep satisfaction without any heaviness. In Japanese households, mackerel is seen as poor man's power food. It's not expensive, it's not flashy, but it works. And that's what matters most, especially when you're trying to regain your strength. In Western countries, mackerel isn't eaten as often. Some find the flavor too bold or don't know how to prepare it. But I would encourage you not to overlook it. Try it once, try it twice. Let your body feel the difference. If you're someone who wakes up feeling stiff in the back or notices more fatigue in your legs, mackerel may be a gentle turning point. It supports you while you sleep, feeding your muscles, restoring your energy, and giving your bones the quiet reinforcement they need. I believe there is dignity in choosing food that respects your age. And mackerel, though modest, is deeply respectful. It asks for little, but gives so much in return. Why these lean meats are best at night. There's a quiet truth I've come to believe more and more with age: healing happens at night. Not just because we sleep, but because our bodies finally get the chance to repair what the day has worn down. For older adults, this nightly repair becomes even more important, especially when it comes to muscle recovery. That's why the timing of our meals and what we choose to eat for dinner matters deeply. In Japan, we often say, eat light to sleep deep. This doesn't mean eating less, it means eating what allows the body to rest and restore, not fight and digest. Lean meats like salmon, chicken, and mackerel are perfect for this. They are rich in high-quality protein and amino acids, especially leucine, which plays a key role in building and repairing muscle tissue. But more importantly, these meats are gentle. They don't overwhelm your digestive system, which naturally slows down in the evening. Heavy proteins like steak or pork can sit in the stomach for hours. They require more energy to break down and can lead to discomfort, bloating, or even disturbed sleep. On the other hand, lean fish or lightly cooked chicken can be digested more efficiently, allowing the nutrients to get to work while you rest. I remember a friend from California who visited me years ago. He was in his early 70s, still active, but often complained of poor sleep and muscle aches. He was used to having a large dinner: steak, potatoes, wine. When he stayed with me, I prepared our usual Japanese evening meal, a piece of grilled salmon miso soup, steamed spinach, and rice. He looked surprised at how small the plate was, but ate politely. That night, he slept 9 hours straight, something he hadn't done in years. The next morning, he said, "I feel like my body actually worked with me last night. It's not magic, it's rhythm. The rhythm of eating foods that harmonize with the body's natural nighttime processes." There's also a hormonal reason behind this. During sleep, our bodies release growth hormone, which helps rebuild muscle and regenerate cells. But for that hormone to do its job, it needs raw materials, amino acids from protein, vitamins from whole foods, and a calm digestive system to process it all. By eating the right kind of lean protein at dinner, you're essentially giving your body the tools it needs to repair muscle while you sleep. It's one of the most effortless ways to support strength in old age. So when the sun begins to set and your day winds down, think of dinner not just as a meal, but as a message. A message to your body that says, "I'm still taking care of you. Let's keep going." What to eat alongside. These meats for a restful dinner. In Japan, we never serve meat by itself. A meal is not just about the protein, it's about the balance that surrounds it. What you pair with your lean meats can either support your body's healing or make it work harder when it should be resting. So what do we pair with salmon, chicken, or mackerel in the evening? First, always a small bowl of rice. It may sound simple, but rice provides a steady release of energy throughout the night. We often choose short-grain white rice, or sometimes a mix of brown rice and barley. These grains are easy to digest and give your body the gentle carbohydrates it needs to process protein effectively. Next, we include steamed or simmered vegetables. Think soft carrots, spinach, pumpkin, or daikon radish. These vegetables are cooked until tender, never raw or crunchy at night. Warm foods calm the stomach, while the natural fibers support digestion. I often simmer mine in a light broth with a bit of soy sauce and mirin, nothing too strong, just enough to bring out the flavor. Then there's miso soup, our most comforting companion. Made from fermented soybean paste, miso is rich in probiotics that help with gut health and absorption. We often add tofu, seaweed, or sliced mushrooms. A warm bowl of miso soup can soothe your entire system and prepare your body for rest. Pickled vegetables, or sukemono, are also a common addition. Just a few slices of pickled cucumber or daikon can stimulate digestion and add a refreshing contrast to the meal. These aren't like Western pickles. Ours are milder with natural fermentation that supports gut balance. One of my favorite memories is of my grandchildren asking, "Why do you always eat so many little things, Grandma?" I told them, "Because each little thing does a different job." And it's true. While the meat repairs your muscles, the rice fuels your cells, the vegetables soothe your organs, and the miso guides it all to where it needs to go. To finish, we often enjoy a cup of warm tea, usually roasted barley tea or green tea depending on the season. It helps clear the palate and signals the body that it's time to rest. What we avoid at night is just as important as what we include. We stay away from raw salads, cold drinks, or overly spicy dishes after sunset. These can irritate the stomach and make it harder to sleep deeply. So when you're preparing your evening meal, think of it as a team effort. Each part of the plate has a role. No single dish needs to do everything, but together they create harmony. And harmony, especially at night, is the first step toward healing. A simple Japanese-inspired meal plan for the day. Sometimes it's not about eating less, it's about eating with rhythm. In Japan, we believe in listening to the body's natural clock. Morning is for waking, midday is for activity, and evening is for healing. When meals follow this rhythm, the body feels more supported, more stable, even as we age. Here's a simple way to eat throughout the day, inspired by how many older adults in Japan nourish themselves. Breakfast is gentle. We start the day with something warm and easy to digest, like rice porridge with a bit of pickled plum or miso soup with tofu and spinach. A soft-boiled egg or a slice of grilled fish can provide steady energy without overwhelming the stomach. Lunch is the main meal. This is when the body is most active and ready to digest. It often includes a generous portion of protein, steamed vegetables, rice, or noodles, and sometimes a small piece of fruit. This is the time to enjoy flavors more fully while your metabolism is at its peak. Dinner is light and purposeful. A piece of salmon or chicken, steamed carrots, or greens, a small bowl of rice, and warm miso soup. Nothing more. This allows your body to focus on repair through the night instead of digestion, and in between. We keep it simple, maybe a few slices of apple, a handful of roasted soybeans, or a cup of tea. No heavy snacks, no rushing. This gentle structure isn't strict, it's flexible, but it helps the body feel cared for in every season of life. When meals follow your body's rhythm, strength doesn't fade, it returns. Growing older does not mean growing weaker, not if we choose to care gently daily and with intention. What you eat tonight, yes, even just a small plate can speak loudly to your body. It can say, "I'm still here, I still care, let's rebuild together." In Japan, we don't believe in chasing youth. We believe in honoring the body we have and giving it what it quietly asks for: rest, rhythm, and nourishment. So whether you choose salmon, chicken, or mackerel, pair it with warmth, simplicity, and kindness. Let dinner be your invitation to heal in the quiet hours. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video helped you in any way, please share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe. We still have many small, powerful secrets to explore together. Medical reminder. Health information shared in this video is not intended as medical advice and may not apply to everyone. Please consult your doctor or a healthcare provider for personalized guidance. If you believe you are having a medical emergency, contact your physician or call emergency services immediately.